with us. Few internet problems on the ground, but we're working with them, and no worries because the initial moments of this game have been captured and recorded, and on the next thumbnail you see for this game, they will be included in the full edition.
Yeah, we will re-upload it just to make sure that everything gets out there.
We were talking about Ravi a little bit, Benji. I just want to finish off. So Ravi was so upset. Yes, I dropped a sitter in the middle of the field. Yes, Liam Graham burnt me in the end zone.
Yes, you were a walrus.
Yeah, I was a walrus. I mean, I didn't need. I shouldn't have been out there. But I made all these claims. But it was pretty funny. Like, you know, I went out there and everybody's kind of laughing at me on my own team, playfully, of course, all good. But Ine, I gave her a strict. Ine, we got to win this tournament. And she had taken it so serious, and everybody, she was just, hey, we got to take this serious, guys. And I still remember Joe White walking back, like, well, what's she talking about? It's you out there, Steph, making a fool of us, and now we got to take it serious because you. And I was like, okay, this is my time to step away and let these all-stars really cook together and make some brilliant ultimate. As FSL is hoping to make their own brilliant ultimate here.
I assume my invite's in the post for next year.
Oh, yeah. To be Walrus number 2, Benj. And that one gets chucked away.
Not quite sure what happened there.
He saw something, but...
That's the thing. I want to know what he saw, because I must admit I didn't see it.
Yeah, and it didn't look like it was a misthrown disc. It looked like there was intent. It didn't slip off the hand, so to speak. So Wizdom churning up the near sideline. Lambalé goes back into the dump space. Bailetis goes all the way to the other side. Elliott. Murray chucks right into the hands of the Flying Saucers.
I must admit, when he released that, I thought, oh, this could be sensational. And then you looked around and there was someone right there, but Murray's there to get it back. A couple of times he's been in the right place at the right time and intercepted to regain possession.
Now, there are 2 players wearing the number 23 Murray shirt. They're both on the field right now.
Well, we know which one's Murray because he was sat down next to us earlier.
Balietes to the imposter Murray. Imposteri. Now we're the real Murray. Inside, Lambalé finds a nice seam and puts another one on the board for Wizdom. Make it 6-2 now for the crew from Geneva.
Yeah, they are looking pretty good after an even start to this game. They're beginning to pull away a little bit. Feels like they have maybe a little bit more self-belief, potentially. It felt like their warm-up was a bit less intense than FSL's. And I wonder if that's a good thing. Because in these conditions, Lucerne were warming up for a long old time before this game started. And I wonder if they've just burnt themselves out a little bit.
You know what? The more I do tournaments, and again, I'm talking about Windmill, that's a hectic tournament, one-on, one-off.
Yeah.
But the old school mentality of these super long, hardcore warm-ups, I just don't think hold grounds. They've got to be conditions-based. Like a big warm-up at the start of the day is nice, but high-intensity warm-ups, I'm not sure I'm totally with it. I think a lot of the players dislike it, and I think the ones that like it can do that independently and make the collective an easier warm up. Bring the body up to temperature, not warm into full throttle.
I mean, that's the thing for me is I get the team aspect of all warming up together, but I think ultimately different people need different things to get their body ready to go, and that was ready to go for Flying Saucers, whipping it down that far sideline for the score.
Fabian Landolt, a good run under, but that was all about the throw. A beautiful find to the front corner on a leading shot. And FSL do well to respond. Now 2 down.
Yeah.
There's another look at Landolt.
Long games here. 90 minutes plus cap. So plenty of time for comebacks. Of course, you've got to score the last point to win anyway. But it does give you that opportunity to, you can. It's not somewhere like Tottenham's where, there just simply isn't the time really. If you dig yourself a big deficit, you do have the space and time to get the comeback here. Potentially, should Flying Saucers Lucerne need it.
There is time to dig yourself out of a hole, Benji?
There's time to clamber your way out of it, yes. I mean, eventually, if you keep digging, you'll reach the other side, right?
Okay, yes, you could dig out on a different continent.
I'm not entirely sure what the antipode of Switzerland is, but...
Yeah, I got no help either. I'm sure that's Googleable.
Oh, there's definitely a website that shows you, like, you give it your precise location and it tells you what's exactly on the opposite side of the Earth. It's amazing.
Wow. The interweb. So wonderful. Tenalia.
Of course, we all know that on the opposite side of the Earth is just like space, right? Because it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
like a Frisbee. It's Frisbee-shaped.
Yes, Frisbee-shaped Earth. If you believe that, I got stocks to sell you.
Stonks?
That's not Enriquinho, that is Claustre. To Tenalia. High ball, tipped and collected. Hooland there to pick up the pieces.
Do you want to say the thing, or shall I say the thing?
Should we say it together?
Yep.
Catch your D's.
It's, I feel a little bit bad because he was caught quite underneath it, and you can see what the plan was. Okay, do I have a good chance? Am I going to catch this? Maybe not, so I'll tip it. But if you can, always try and catch it. Maybe he did. You have to look at it again on the replay. But especially with this humidity, it will hang up, and yeah, he's overexerting himself, and he does. It's right at the very top, and he might try and catch it.
He did want that for sure.
Yeah, but if you don't, that's what can happen, because both Hooland and Claustre were lurking in the back there to pick up the grateful seconds.
Yeah, it always sounds harsh, but he did make a great play to even get a fingertip to that. To hear us punters in the booth telling you what to do, catch your D's. But I must say our synchronicity was impeccable there, Ben. Well done.
It was good. It's almost like we practiced it.
Yeah.
But that's the key to any good partnership, isn't it?
Yeah. What, practicing or making it seem like we practiced? The seamlessness.
It's timing. Great pull, by the way.
Oh, and pulled away. I thought that was easily D'd. I think Wizdom thought they had that one D'd as well. And the run through almost felt like a D, but it was an offensive collection.
Yeah, Fabian Landolt just saying, hey, this is still alive, right? Until it's properly in their possession, we've got a chance.
FSL, that's Landolt. Goes into the dump space on the line.
Dafiv is somewhat arrogantly poaching in that lane, saying, look, we're going to make you break us, and can you, as that one thunks off the chest of Portman.
And then hangs it up, and it is in the hands of Ayo. Tenalia starts sounding the horns.
Oh, he's found his jersey.
He has found his jersey. The lost and found him. The found and lost. But very unfortunate bobble here. Boop, 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 boop. There it goes. And Wizdom more than happy to capitalize on the error.
I mean, it's not one of those where it goes right through the hands and disappears. He had his chest behind it as that backboard, so he gave himself that opportunity. But it was fired at such pace that it really plinked out of there, and then bidding it quickly on the turn, blading it to the end zone. Tenalia gets the Matador horn going, and we are at half 8-3.
We are at halftime, and with that, we'll take a short break. Wizdom with this nice lead. Let's see how the second half of this game shapes itself out. Make sure you stay with us and are back for that.
jetzt Arena und erkläre dir den Sidearmwurf. Du machst eine Schere zwischen Mittelfinger und Ringfinger, legst den Mittelfinger und den Zeigefinger an den inneren Rand verschieben, den Daumen legst oben drauf auf die Rille, den Ringfinger und den Kleinfinger kannst du aussen machen, zum Stabilisieren brauchen. Wir stehen hüftbreit, ausgerichtet dorthin, wo wir werfen wollen. Und wir machen einen kleinen Ausfallschritt zu der Hand, die wir die Scheibe haben. Dann ist ganz wichtig beim Werfen das Handgelenk. Aus dem Handgelenk machen wir so einen Kick, damit möglichst viel Draht auf die Scheibe kommt und die schön fliegt. Das ist viel wichtiger als die Kraft selber. Die Wurfplan verschieben kann man in dem verändern, dass man den Winkel anpassen. Das heisst, man kann die Aussenkante aufstellen. Dann macht das Frisbee einen Bogen aussen. Und wenn man die Aussenkante runterhängen lässt, dann macht sie eine Innenkurve.
Du möchtest so werfen können wie Sarina? Dann melde dich doch unverbindlich bei einem unserer Clubs und erfahre alles über Ultimate, die schnelle Teamsportart mit dem Frisbee. Alle Infos findest du auf unserer Verbandswebseite ultimate.ch. Wir freuen uns, von dir zu hören.
So, jetzt wünsche ich euch ganz viel Spaß beim Skibällen.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Eight-3 second half action. Wizdom with a comfortable lead over the FSL, wearing their quasi-USA designed jerseys. I just asked them at the halftime. They said, yes, Steph, you are right. We did try and emulate. Wait a minute. I'm making that up. I'm trying to validate myself.
You might be making that up.
Well, you didn't hear everything I said at the halftime break, Benji.
No, generally when my headphones are off, I try to ignore you. Unfortunately,
wow,
that is a real gift that might allow FSL a way back into this.
I have a would you rather after this point.
Okay.
FSL throws to the sideline. Now really pushing towards that far sideline, back to center. Kaiser.
Good defense here from the Wizards.
It is. Feels like they're only going backwards. FSL tried to make up and doesn't. That one in for the goal. FSL score off of a dropped pull. What would you rather? Drop a pull or throw a Callahan?
Throw a Callahan. Because if you throw a Callahan, you can say, okay, opponent made a good play. You know, it was my receiver's fault or whatever. You know, you can make excuses. A drop pull is the easiest thing you'll ever do, right? Theoretically, anyway.
You always got good answers, Benji. I love asking you
Although,
questions.
the thing is, if you drop a pull, it sucks, right? But, you know, you get an opportunity to play defense or whatever. But if the opponent catches a Callahan, bang, that's it, points over. And you get that huge, big uplift from getting a Callahan as well. So, you know, I see both sides of the coin. But I remember one of my coaches saying me, like, they had this internal monologue in their head when going to catch the pull. And someone's like, it's really important to catch the pull. It's really important to catch the pull. And then another voice of, it's the easiest catch you'll ever make. There's no one even marking you. And then a third voice, which is, it's so easy, but you can't do it. And now, unfortunately, whenever I go to catch the pull, that entire dialogue plays in my head, retold from Megan's perspective.
Tenalia sends deep, and that is not. Oh, yes, it is. Unbelievable. How was he able to catch up? Oh, no business being there. All the position in the world was for Portman from FSL, but somehow Wizdom with the disc, and now with a goal because of that maintained possession. Perrault gets the final touch.
Yeah, when Tonali put this up, you thought, oh no, a miscommunication. Is it all unravelling fast here for Wizdom? But really good hustle to chase it down from Hooland. Mate just refusing to let this go. And he really forces him to work. And, you know, recognises there as well that he wasn't in. And okay, no problem, we'll just reset. And we don't have to take this instant scoring pass. We'll just find an open option and we can flow it from there. Going to Belaites, and then just flipping that into the end zone for the score. We talked about some of the other sport that's going on here, that's going on today as well, well, not necessarily this part of the world, but
Pickleball?
related to this part of the world. Well, obviously there's the football, Italy, Switzerland at 6 local time this evening.
With helmets and shoulder pads, football?
No, football, not football. You know, football.
Okay, so the game that Italy is going to win in against Switzerland later today?
Maybe, but also, if we actually turn our attentions to Italy, somewhere between Florence and Rimini, it's the opening stage of the Tour de France.
Yes. Excited about that. It will be going through Nice, where I live.
Hoping that Mark Cavendish can break the all-time stage win records this year.
For you, I hope for the same. But I'm not following as well as you, clearly.
He only needs one more.
All right. FSL, great leading throw, all sorts of meters there. Dump pass back to Edelman. Into the middle. Kaiser. Ooh, low throw, but well handled. Strong hand, and then in for goal. I believe that's Villy with the goal. Villy spike it, or Vonti? All right, I'll stop.
He won't, no. There were a couple of points this possession where I thought, oh my god, that was a tight window. I like the leading throw to the handler running through there. This one really made me a bit nervous because it zipped it and it was a little bit behind, but able to chop his feet and slow down, and then Villy in the end zone for the score. For FSL, who I must say have started this second half in a much... Well, actually, they started the first half fairly well before it kind of accelerated and disappeared away from them. Hopefully, they can maintain this rhythm and momentum as the second half ticks on. Nine to 5. What a way to make a living, Steph.
It's all taken and no given. And the pull by FSL is centered to the opposing brick mark, and Hooland continues to move it. Kloster goes to AJ. AJ zips. Kloster does get around, but he does get that layout pickup. Tenalia, tenacious, but there's some wonder. Was it up, Benj?
I don't know. Tenalia really had to get on his bike for this one, though.
There's Vespa. One chance at a D, two chances at a D.
I have zero angle on that.
Our angle's not good enough, but...
They're calling it a turnover on the field, and I trust them.
Yep. They've got laser vision out there. FSL.
They definitely made that scoring throw a lot more difficult than it needed to be.
Portman goes back to the middle.
Pick.
And a pick. What's a pick, Benji?
As a defender, you have the right to be able to, closely track and follow the player that you're matched up against. And if you're unable to do that because a player from either team is in the way, you don't actually even have to run directly into them, but you can see that you're about to. You can call the pick and you get the opportunity to regain that position. The idea is that it's trying to stop creating those deliberate picks where you're trying to run defenders through, trying to match up through all sorts of traffic to free yourself up, and that creates contact.
Hammer for the goal. That one, a well-thrown piece. Thank you very much for the explanation, first of all, Benji. But FSL march the fields, put another one on, reduce the deficit to 3, and do it with a hammer for the finishing touch.
Yeah, nicely poised now at 6-9, and you see flowing it, and the Flying Saucers have started the second half in, I must say, quite a firm fashion. Zips the hammer in there, not too much loft and flair on it that might tempt those defenders in, but sits it in that soft spot behind them. And FSL getting a little bit of head of steam, I think. I assume that's steam coming off these players, given the weather.
Oh, yeah. That's steam all right.
It's a hot one.
You cannot say that enough, Benji.
It's a hot one.
That's, I'm going to let you say it again if you want.
Nah, I'm all right.
Okay. Yeah, it is. How many degrees right now? 32. We've seen the thermometer state as high as 34 at stages of the day. Murray winds up, takes the under.
I'm roasted like a cocoa bean, I feel like.
A cocoa bean.
Yeah, that's what cocoa comes from.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I'm thinking cocoa like the French word for coconut.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Barb. Sorry, that is... Yeah, no, that was Barb. Now to Murray. Murray with a high stall count. Has to float up a blade, and that makes 2 of his players bounce into each other, and I think they're discussing the potential for a stall out.
I saw the hand signal there. Turnover stands. FSL fighting their way back into this one, Steph.
Yeah, another goal here would really make me believe that that statement has some validity. Fake swipe there by Edelman. He goes back. Kaiser. And Edelman behind the disc. They're happy to play the 2-player game. And another look at it. Now the shot upfield, and that's too far. And as much as they're fighting their way back in, they've got to drive them the whole way past that line.
I like the idea of utilising that break side space, even if the execution was off.
Murray, was there a hand on that? There may well have been, but it was recovered any which way. Barb, back to Murray. Deep cut goes, but it was well covered up with some switching. Low throw, bobbled but handled by Ayo.
Or was it?
Ooh la la. On va voir. Let's have another look. Oh, that was up. No? Do you have an opinion, Benji?
I'd have to watch it again in super slow motion, I think.
Do we have the capacity of watching things in super slow motion?
Oh, we do.
Totally up.
I think he's got his backhand underneath it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the front end goes down. The front end touches, but it was in both hands when the front end touches.
Again, our opinion is not the important one, sadly.
It's surprisingly. And they have disagreed with what I was so sure of.
I think maybe he didn't get it cleanly, so they're deciding, okay, you didn't have full control when the disc hit the floor there, but it doesn't matter because they have
take it.
Rinsed in there.
Ayo gets it, now don't take it. Oh, but he's gone, and that's a beautiful throw.
Take it. Stoppage though, potentially. Johan Bilates having, I think he started running, intercepted it, got it out of his hands and didn't stop running. Yoink. And yeah, he just does not stop until he's got the disc in his hands
What's
for
the
the score.
conversation here? Travel?
I think.
Again, based on the rules in the last 2 years, that feels like it was within it. But if the back foot does drag on the throw, if there's no established pivot, that can give you reason to believe that. But I think if you do throw it in, if you're in the throwing motion while on the move, and there was never an established pivot foot, does it matter if the back foot drags, Benji?
Good question.
Because the back foot could be totally lifted as well.
Yeah, I think for me, whenever I'm thinking about calling a travel, it's like, okay, even if it is a travel, what material effect is it actually having? Because if it's not really having that much of an effect, then normally I'm inclined to maybe you say, okay, by the way, that's a little, there's not necessarily, I think that was pushing the boundaries of the travel. So maybe just watch it, but I wouldn't necessarily call it. And actually the call in the end was retracted and the score stands for the Wizdom.
Yeah, and to be very honest, I thought that the travel call came on the throw earlier.
Yeah, I think
but
it did.
was on IO, and if it was on IO, then there was an established pivot and a foot drag, where that one was a little bit more callable.
But again, did it affect that throw too much?
I don't think so.
Probably not. But then, if it doesn't affect it, why are you doing it?
Yeah,
stick
your foot, plant your pivot, man.
But the thing is, you watch Ultimate, and I think you accept that there will be a lot of travels. If you were being really pernicious and pedantic about the rules,
you could call a travel on every throw.
Yeah, a lot of them you could. And I'm not suggesting we go full NBA on it, where it's like the travel rule seems not to exist. But
yeah. Especially if you're named LeBron James.
Especially if you're doing something cool. Which, honestly, if you're like slam dunking on someone, I think you should be able to travel all you want. But
if you're laying it up, call that foul.
Yeah, call the travel. Like, come on, man. You're traveling and you're not even driving all the way to the hoop. That's pretty cringe, IMO.
Inside throw by the Flying Saucers of Luzerne. Now they push it to the far sideline. Inside. Nice under, taken strong with two hands. Ooh, and didn't see that one coming. Two Wizdom defenders got pieces of that. Murray picks up, immediately jacks it, well weighted, not in, and didn't do the catching part.
Catch it first, get in second, because that is the risk if you don't, that you're so focused on, I can milk this all the way for a score, I can milk this all the way for a score, but you can't score if you don't catch it.
No. That is for darn sure. No second chances. That one just under the hand of the lane defender.
Yeah, they are consistently sagging those handler defenders off a little bit to gum up those lanes downfield. And they've got to turn from it last possession. They've nearly got another one there.
That one pushed to the near sideline. Portman surveying with a mounting stall count, but gets it away. Now a high release, beautiful floating backhand in for goal, and just like that, back the other way. What could have been a goal turns into a goal against because of a focus on footwork before the catch.
You know, you said this. You know what you said about the stall count there when it was ticking up. Aren't all stall counts in Switzerland mountain stall counts? Thank you very much.
Mounting, mountain stall counts.
As opposed to Canada, where you get mounty stall outs, I guess.
Oh, Benji.
Sorry, the heat has melted my brain and it's kind of escaping through all these various orifices.
You're spitting gold, my man. Keep up the good work.
Hit some tight window throws there. FSL. But you feel like when you're behind in the game, maybe you do have to, gamble a little bit more to try and equate the advantage. Because if you do the safe, sensible thing, is that necessarily going to get you the way to fight back from this deficit. Now, do you have to gamble a little bit defensively and flash into lanes and poach off and sag spaces? You know, do you have to take more ambitious throws because, you know, Wizards have partly built an advantage because they've been able to grind things out at times.
Hot Mess Express showing up on the sideline bench, ready for their big semi-final matchup coming up next. They will be taking on
Free Speed.
Ooh, la la.
The other side of the bracket has Louvre up against Fabulous.
Exciting stuff. Ooh, that one boshed out of the hand by Perrault.
Yeah, went for the old throw and go and forgot to throw.
Yeah, just the go. Big wind-up backhand. Loved the delay, and a beautiful throw comes out. Portman stoked on that one. Really sucked in the defender. A quick and wide pivot to get around, and here's another look.
Yeah, picking it up and feels like he's eyeing this break side of the field. Steps out wide. And you wonder, is it going to have the edge to come back into bounds? We've seen a few just not carry that way, but he does, and it rakes its way back in bounds on the throw from Peter Hessler. And FSL, you know, they are making a very good fist of a comeback here, and they force the Wizards into a timeout.
Timeout taken, the 46-year-old Portman with that assist. 8-10 is the score. Timeout on the field. We're going to take a short break, too, and be back with more action after these words.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat. Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater. On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe. Oh, wow. Guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of. Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Go find Steph Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series. Do as that beautiful voice says and like and subscribe. In the meantime, the beautiful voice makes a mistake here and there. That was not Portman on the assist. Benji, who was it?
It was Peter Hessler, who's not 46.
Ah, so he must be younger.
No. Just a little bit older. 61.
What a legend. I mean,
love it.
Okay, like, you know, that goes without saying, a legend. But that is the actual age group in the US.
Yeah, the USAU, yeah. It's above great grandmasters is legends.
And it is 60-year-olds.
I think it's 60. I'm not quite sure because it doesn't really exist
George
in Europe.
White, who is a legend, the father of
I was going to
White.
say, any relation to...
Yes, who is still playing as a legend.
Of course he is.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Ooh, and the low throw, and uh-oh. What's going on here, Benji? FSL are doing it by hook or by crook, by prowess of their own, or by errors from Wizdom, but everything is going their way in this last frame. Last few frames, in fact. Now they shoot high off the hand, and another chance for Wizdom on this point.
Ambitious. I don't really think that needed to go. Although we said, you know, you've got back into this partly by rolling the dice, so I see why you want to keep pushing it, but yeah, I'm not sure that was the shot.
So Wizdom from their own end zone. DeFeeve gets it moved up. Barb, and then Barb again into the middle. Dump back. Murray to Barb. Right back to Murray. Villar, the Filipino. Moved up line. And trying to get it away from that stall count does find Murray. Murray finds Barb. Barb right back to Murray. Those two have connected a fair few times on this possession alone. Barb, Villar. Villar, low throw. Pop pass to Murray, not in yet. I love the fake by Murray there to reverse the field. DeFeeve and finds Murray right in the middle. Casual, unclapped spike.
Yeah, Murray just sitting in the center of the end zone there, and the defender just challenging DeFeeve to take that break throw on under the mark of Portman. And DeFeeve will gladly take that opportunity. Somehow, I feel like it's cooled off a little bit, but it's getting a lot heavier, the air. It feels like it is going to rain in the not too distant future, and it's going to rain heavily.
Yes.
But I might also feel some spots of moisture now.
But yeah, I do believe you're right. This rain is coming, maybe even as cats and dogs. Though in the meantime, it has let off a bit while it feels it's coming. I mean, maybe it's just later in the day, but it's not quite the
No, mercifully, it's not.
sweltering inferno we had about 2-3 hours ago.
I think we will certainly be shifting some pounds in sweat this weekend, though.
I mean, I could use it.
Mini tanks in the showers later.
Yes.
If I keep suggesting it, eventually someone will go for it.
Bench, just to correct, it is the next game is Zurich taking on Hot Mess Express, not Free Speed.
Oh, okay. The schedule has
Swarm, Zurich Swarm.
In which case, someone must have put the earlier game result, because I looked earlier and it said Free Speed versus thing, and I was like, oh, okay, good for Free Speed. But no, evidently someone has. There's been some crossed wires somewhere.
Yeah. Throw goes up. It is hanging, and a nice defensive play, but not quite enough. Great grab there. I thought enough was done by Hoolan to get the D, but great grab. FSL put one on the board.
I think we saw this in the first half down the other end zone. It might have even been the same players involved, where Hoolan was able to get it off a failed interception, and this time again tracking it towards that far sideline. Hoolan goes up nice and big, but can only just tip it around the corner. And
gives himself a defensive assist.
Yeah, really on the end with the score. About half an hour still to play before the cap comes on. This could still very much be anyone's game, and from the position that FSL had dug themselves into, they've done really well to make this a real contest.
Yeah, at 9-11, it's an emergency situation here. Who is going to find the late game form? Wizdom in a slightly advantageous position, but with lost momentum. Does it always feel advantageous being ahead? Not necessarily.
Yeah, it does. I'd always rather be ahead than behind.
How big was their lead? It was 9-5 as big as we saw it, a 4-goal lead?
Was it 8-3 at half?
Yeah, you're right. 5-goal lead down to 2. I don't know if I'm still feeling the confidence and momentum that should come with having a lead.
Well, have you heard the phrase 8-5 is the most dangerous scoreline in Ultimate?
I mean, I've heard people refer to every scoreline as the most dangerous.
Right, obviously it's not 8-5. Obviously the most dangerous scoreline is 14-0 down. But the idea is the same. You hear it like in football, they'll say, 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, because it's where, you sit off a little bit, you feel comfortable, you let your standards slip, and that allows the opponent opportunity to get back into the game. And credit to FSL, because they found a way back into this game.
Tenalia.
I also like FSL going with some zone a little bit. Maybe you can, give some of the players a little less hard running to do, and again throwing a different look at your opponents.
Good find in the middle. Now Villar back through. Barb goes wide. Tenalia then strikes quickly. Io in the corner with an OI throw to get there, and it's 12-9 now. Three ahead again.
Really good downfield spacing there from Wizdom. Splitting those deep players. Okay, for a lot of the point, you accept you're not necessarily going to be doing an awful lot. You just know that when they do break through that front line, and once the disc gets moving with a little bit of pace, all of a sudden the defender there in that deepest position has to make a choice. Do you go one corner or the other? Do you try and split it in the middle? And if you don't make a choice, well, then you allow the easy score. And if you do make a choice, then, you just got to try and make the choice that takes away the easiest throw, I think.
Tenalia sounding the horns.
You've got a very good illustration of how sweaty it is, Steph.
Yeah.
You've just been sticking a bottle cap to your forehead.
And it works for you too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
With zero, I think I could stick more to my forehead.
More head.
More head. I love you, Bench.
Thank you, Steph. Oh, nice.
What a layout bid coming through there.
Fair play, AJ.
AJ getting it done. Defense hotter than the Basel weather. Might have time to get another look at that. We will. Here it is.
What a flying block.
Holy jumping to Willikers. Perard with the disc, and we've got some congestion upfield.
Stoppage in the stack. For all of FSL's hard work to get back into this game, a break here for Wizdom would be an absolute dagger.
Perard goes back, finds himself Balietis, and then Lambalet. Balietis.
Felix going for the tried and trusted repair method of just hit it a bit. I think it might have had the opposite effect of desired.
I don't think there's any thinking about it. It indeed did. But it's back in action now. AJ gets a throw through the middle to Hooland. Hooland finds AJ on a chisel. A very tenacious hammer fake, and then follows it up with the around backhand with the celebration arrow launch. AJ is fired up after that one, Bench.
A very effusive, almost ostentatious hammer fake, let's be honest.
Effusive.
Effusive.
And ostentatious. Effusive. Can somebody in the chat define the words that Benji's using? Because those are awesome. But context gives me a good guess, Benj, but you never cease to amaze me with the depth of your vocabulary.
I don't know, I just say words. If you say it with enough confidence, people don't question it. It's the key to commentary. Don't tell anyone.
Somebody in the chats is going to call you a fraud? Is that what's going to happen next?
I mean, they're not wrong. You're all right, Felix. They are perfectly cromulent words.
All right, what's happening here?
As Wizdom continue to embiggen their margin of victory here. 13-9. Remember, it was like, 11-9, this is close, and Wizdom have found a way to just get that extra gear. And that's the risk of FSL. If you dig yourself that big hole, is you can put a good run together, but you're still a couple of points down, then all it takes is for one break back the other way, and all of a sudden you're in a really preserved position, as the sideline love that pull, and I can see why.
Oh, yeah. Starting in the end zone is FSL's Edelman. Finds a little bit of room to hit Moritz in the middle. Still in the end zone, Edelman, low throw. It is picked up. Moritz gets the throw across. Kaiser. Mounting. Mountain stall count and 2 hands. Unable. Friendly fire breaks up that play.
Yeah, the fatigue, not just in the legs, but...
Barb goes hammer. Ayo!
Ayo!
How you doing with the goal there? Catches the hammer. 14-9. Most dangerous lead in this game thus far.
It's dangerous, certainly, for FSL because they're 1 away. Yeah, the fatigue, it's not just in the legs, but it's in the mind as well because you're so focused and locked in on what you're doing, you don't think, oh, actually, I need to be communicative. I can see there's someone else coming to that space. I don't need to commit to this. And they cut each other off, cross each other over, get in each other's way, and then they're just punished ruthlessly with Barb zinging the hammer to Ayo in the back of the end zone for the score. Wizdom 1 away from the win. What's your favourite whiskey-based cocktail?
Old-fashioned. I mean, bourbon. Is bourbon whiskey?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, then, yeah, without, like...
Oh, actually, I think it's a rum-based cocktail, now that I think about it. What's in a dark and stormy?
Yeah, rum.
It's
Dark
rum, okay.
Rum, ginger beer, lime.
Good knowledge.
Yes. I love a dark and stormy, but I will take an old-fashioned.
I was going to say, because it feels like it's getting a little bit dark and stormy at the moment.
Yeah, somebody get me some dark rum.
No cool.
Hangs and lands in the hands of the intended receiver. FSL extend the game, not going down that quickly. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that.
Yeah, there was a temporary stoppage, not a stoppage, because there was a little collision away from the disc, but no call. And then, oh, well, I'll just throw it deep then, and this throw isn't really open, but it's got the right edge and the right trajectory that it takes it, curls it around the defender's path, leading the receiver towards the break side a little bit where they have that extra space. He's putting babies on my live stream.
Oh, yeah. I think our camera operator.
Are there no, like, animals we could use instead?
What's your favorite domestic animal, Benji?
This might shock you.
Bird.
I'm a cat man.
I didn't know that.
Give up.
He's a cat man. Do you know the name of the artist who performs?
Scatman John.
Yeah, you did know.
Yeah.
That was in my music trivia on Wednesday night.
Oh, very good. Did you win?
Scatman by Scatman. No, we actually did horribly.
Give me a call next time.
Yeah, I like to. We do well from time to time.
We did our. I remember at Limerick last year we did our ULTI.TV pub quiz as well.
That was great.
We should get that back.
Yeah, we should. Wizdom hang it up. Barb gets left hand to it and catches off the bobble.
Techers.
Then tries to flip the grip, goes to Murray. Murray looks upfield. This could be the game and a trip into the 9-12 bracket for Wizdom. Can they find the end zone? Murray. DeFeves. DeFeves waits and miscommunication. Tanalia went up line and he was hoping for a return cut.
I'd have liked to have seen him turn and find that reset of Murray. And then Barb, I mean, he does the right thing because he focuses on catching it because we've seen one of his teammates try and jump it in and actually not catch it. Although in the end, the end result is the same because they couldn't quite punch it in and Wizard is down holding their face.
AJ calling the foul, and I didn't touch you is something that I heard.
I mean, someone touched him, and it wasn't me.
A little bit of a discussion with the elder statesman. The ever young Hushler. Back into the hands of FSL. Edelman. To Hushler. Oh, just over the hands of Io. Now bangs one. Defender in front, but the bigger receiver behind, and Portman gets his hands on it. Portman. Give, go, get, and this game is not over yet.
You cannot teach tools, Steph.
No, you certainly can't. That
But
is a gift you're born with.
It's more than just being tall. Being tall accounts for nothing if you're in the wrong position, and Portman was able to read that one well. Just again got away with one earlier in the point. Nothing too outrageous on this deep shoot, not banging it as far as he can, but just backing Portman to go up above his defender. So we'll take the free reset.
Free set.
Yeah, they will take the free set and leading into the end zone.
Happy to have it. Indeed they are. Happy to extend the game. Happy to give themselves one more chance at the potential for Ninals. Ninals, Fivals. Great little iterations of championship bracketing that are not at the very top of it.
It's nice that you play all the games even if you don't. Even if you haven't still haven't got a chance of winning the championship.
Like some of these tournaments were like World Cup where you play a round robin and then you're done and you go home. I mean, if the sponsors ever come and give us the money to make that happen, then I could accept it. But I really do like that everything is played out to seed.
I've always wanted to run like a true FA Cup style knockout tournament where it's completely unseeded. Two giants can meet up in the first round, and depending on how early you go out, you get the earlier you go out, the more B you get given as a prize. So that it's to encourage you to stay around and heckle the other teams. So if you win, you get a trophy, but you only get like a beer each, as opposed to getting like a full
couple cases.
Yeah, exactly.
And just staying around and
it'll be
making the final game more entertaining.
It would also be lovely, like just having everyone like waiting there for the draw each round. Like we'll get someone like to do the balls in the pot.
AJ fakes that hammer. Not the first time he's done that. Looks up line. Ooh, very low, but he did manage to hang on to that. Perard.
And got it off just before the stall count as well.
Perard goes back to AJ.
Do it.
AJ zips down the line. It's high. Too much on it. And this game will go at least one possession longer.
Yeah, could have done really with, rather than trying to shoot it flat, stepping out a little bit more and trying to blade it in there so you've got the angle that's going to take it back in bounds and is also going to help bring it back down towards your target as well.
So FSL will bring the disc in to the front cone. There it is. Another look at that missed opportunity.
It is at least perilous field position.
Wind up delivery of the backhand. Too much on it. No chance to catch up. So Wizdom they will have one more chance to seal the deal now.
Kaiser didn't mind. He had a big old smile on his face anyway. He's like, I don't care. I get to put it deep. According to the temperature I can see in the background, it's dropped below 30 degrees.
Well, that's nice. But apparently it's going to be a 10-degree drop for tomorrow, going from 32 down to 22 high tomorrow.
I'll take it.
Well, you don't have an option, Benji.
Well, that's good.
AJ underneath does collect with the right hand. I would have put 2 on that one. Made me a little bit nervous, but and then it too far in front, and the bid can't collect with the one-hander that time. Edelman. Edelman gets the under. Wind up, put away, but a nice gainer. 88 shirt goes to Edelman. Edelman finds room on the line. Kaiser. Kaiser and FSL proving they don't want to lose. Villy throw a shot for goal. He won't. Put it to the sideline. About 15 meters out.
Not your best, Seth.
It's not that bad, Benji.
Pick.
But you're right, not my best. So, discussion? What is the discussion, Benji?
Pick.
Okay. So, right now, FSL refusing to lose. At least not on Wisdom's terms. Villy. Edelman. Moving off his pivot foot goes the hammer, and too many defenders or not. A triple bobble and catch, and extended even further. This game will go Wizdom squandering opportunities.
All this Flutterguts practice turns out might have a point to it in the end. This is a tough release for Edelman to get off because you feel like the defender there senses that it's coming on the force. Gets the hands up, just able to sneak it through them despite the jump. Two defenders flash across, getting a piece of it. Oh, wait, yes, no, I don't know. Bang.
Bibbity bobbity boo. Great concentration. Those ones is as best as you can say. It was good defense coming across to make that difficult, but love the concentration to hang on to that and see it into a goal.
What do you think? Can FSL pull off the miraculous?
They're starting to give me the tiniest bit of hope. I don't think so. I think Wizdom is just too close. But with each new point, I'm starting to have this seed of belief.
A sneaking suspicion.
Yes.
We'll see
If
at
they
what
get
point.
one more, then they can do it.
See at what point Wizards believe that the game has got away from them.
DeFeves, Tenalia. Tenalia ready to blow the horns. Goes up and over. Over. This is finally done. Wizdom put the final nail in the coffin. 15-11. They get the win. They made it a bit more interesting than they may have needed to, but credit that to FSL's inability to give up, their stick-to-itness, and a great win in the end for Wizdom to finally put it away.
Yeah, we'll have for FSL will have to display some bounce-back ability in their next games, but certainly for Wizdom, I think you're seeing now maybe, with all due respect, why these teams are not slightly higher up the pyramid, in that that neither of them have the deepest squads. I think they looked at certainly by the end of the game they looked a little bit leggy. They made too many errors, but on the day Wizards just felt like they had more of a presence about them from start to finish.
The presence will carry them up into that 9-12 bracket, while FSL will be now playing for 13th as their best results, but in any sense happy to have been able to peddle their wares under the ULTI.TV lenses. Benji and I, as always, have had an absolute pleasure to be able to bring this game to you and call another one from Swiss Nationals here in Basel. Up next, as mentioned, the women's semifinal. Hot Mess Express taking on Zoo Swarm from Zurich. Promises to be a cracker. Make sure you're locked in for it. For the man mentioned, Benjamin Reese, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thank you very much for joining us. We will catch you next time.
Stay with me until tomorrow. Could you to kill my sorrows. Maybe one night you can play the hero, even if I know it's only for show. You're no good for me. We're so bittersweet, but I still want you. I do. Baby, can't you see what you do to me? I just can't resist you. You got me drunk in love, I can't sleep. I need to sober up from this dream, but I can't deny, I can't deny you. I can't deny, I can't deny you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Milan. I mean, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
You got me drunk in love, I can't sleep. I need to sober up from this dream, but I can't deny, I can't deny you. I can't deny, I can't deny.